So I wanted to give you guys a little bit of another moving update. Um, so I had told you guys in a previous video that we might have found a trailer that we could afford. Come to find out, we couldn't afford it. Um, Even with the rent being as affordable as it was, they wanted the income to be 3.5 times the rent, and they weren't willing to work with us whatsoever. So that fell through. We are still looking, but at this point, like I was telling my husband, I honestly don't care if we have to like buy a car and live out of the car, because people are just not willing to work with us at all. We're looking to leave the Northwest Indiana area because it's just too damn expensive. Everything, like, even we've looked at studios, we've looked at sharing a house with someone, like renting a room in someone's house. We've looked at a whole bunch of options. And the problem with that is, like, even looking at renting rooms in someone's house, they just want one person. They don't want a couple. They don't want people to have kids, which obviously Jacob isn't with us 24/7. He's not living with us. But it just makes it hard because nobody's really willing to work with us. We don't have a lot of income. We don't have a lot that we can work with. I am waiting for a disability appointment so that I can finish my application for disability, because I couldn't understand exactly what I needed for some of it. Like, I don't know which doctor they need stuff from, because in most of my health conditions, I am seen by multiple doctors for the same condition. So I'm not sure exactly which doctor they need it from. And so I'm seeking help based on that. So, yeah. But anyways, that's a whole nother story. If you want more information about that, I can talk to you guys more about that as far as like the disability filing process and all of that and what I'm going through when it comes to that. Like, I was telling my husband, I really don't care if we just like buy a car, live in the car for a little bit as we're saving up money to buy a house or a trailer or rent an apartment, because it seems like, people just are not willing to work with us. We had enough to rent this one apartment. Well, almost enough. We were $9 short, and the guy was not willing to wiggle whatsoever. We found another posting online. This guy was trying to sell a fixer-upper mobile home for $500. Obviously, that means it would not be in the best condition. And it was a pretty old mobile home, but I think he wanted $500 for it and then $240 a month for like the lot rent or whatever. But that was 2.5 hours away. And in order to move down there, we would have still had to buy a car, which we went to JD Byrider, and they basically told us to kick rocks because they said that my husband doesn't make enough money, and with me waiting for disability, they didn't want to approve us for financing. So currently we have about $1,200, maybe a little bit less than that, to play with, so to speak. When it comes to finding housing, I've become so desperate that I have posted on Craigslist that we're looking for a place to live. Obviously, it's February now, and regardless, we have to move in April because I am not re-signing a lease. I absolutely hate this place ever since, like, I honestly don't want to be here anymore since they made us get rid of Bella, Minnie, Tank, and Cash. We do still have the rats, though. Little do they know. But the message that she said didn't say anything about that. She just said cats and dogs have to go. So we still haven't told Jacob either, by the way. So if you want an update on how he's doing when we tell him, he's not coming this weekend, but he's coming next weekend. So I'm sure that's just going to be a great conversation for my husband to have with him because Jacob's going to be heartbroken. Um, I feel awful. I feel like I have let him down. Um, but I don't know. I feel like there's nothing for me in this area anymore. Obviously, my mother in law is here. That's not what I mean. Obviously, Jacob still lives in this area. That's not what I mean either. But, like, career wise, I feel like there's nothing there for me in this area. Housing, I'm sick and tired of struggling, scrounging, trying to save every little penny, not having enough to buy food because rent is over $800 a month here and we can't afford it with just my husband's income. And with me not being able to work, like my anxiety is through the roof because I hate having to rely on my husband and I hate having to put that pressure on him to provide for everybody. And it's really hard with 60% of his income being taken out of each check for child support. It's just really, really hard. So I've been beyond stressed. I've been looking everywhere. I've been looking in different parts of Indiana. The reason why I've been looking in Indiana as opposed to surrounding states is because at least if I stayed in Indiana, I could potentially get work as a CNA if I had to, or a caregiver or something like that. But I am trying to get on disability. It's just, I feel like the whole world is crashing down around me and I'm starting to really get depressed about like what is exactly going on. And it doesn't help that I don't have, mini tank, Bella, or Cash anymore to help me feel better. Because whether I mentioned it or not, Minnie, Bella, Tank, and Cash really, really helped me with my depression, my PTSD, and anxiety. And ever since what happened last week happened, I just haven't been the same. I've been having nightmares. I can't sleep well. It's awful. So I know this was kind of all over the place, kind of a house hunting, moving update, and also a life update. I'm trying to stay focused in school so that I can at least keep one aspect of my life on track. It's just hard, you guys. So I'll update you guys, obviously, as soon as I know anything on the housing front. As of right now, it's not looking good. We may be living in a car for a while. I don't know.